Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that we know and love as VP La Pew Pew, but you might know it as a leFH or a leaf blower. This one is on the north spawn of Kharkov and is under the command of Silent Soul. Now I kind of get the impression that Silent Soul is not a normal Arty player, and he bought one of these to try it out, and well, he's kind of embarrassed. Anyway, you're going to see later on during the battle that he gets a bit surprised. Yeah, he's saying, let's make some new players quit, fellow leFHs. Yes, there's 3 leFHs on their team, and he's blowing away rounds without aiming. He's just firing for the sake of firing, which I think is going to come back and haunt him, because yes, I have seen this replay, mainly because it's appeared on one of our other channels. Now the VP, as we know it, VP La Pew Pew, because it's French and it pews a lot, is actually a German Arty, and they only made 16 of these. Okay, he spotted an enemy chappie up on the hill, and down near the trenches we've got a 14 TP styling in as quickly as he can. I'm having to use no mods, I'm afraid, because this file won't run with the standard clients. Now the standard reload for this Arty is 8.92 seconds. He's probably got a reload around about 7 seconds, and he's got his first kill. It's a 14 TP. Meanwhile, in the city, from the position he's in, he's actually got fairly good shots on that M4A1. You can see how deadly it is in a battle when you've got 3 leFHs all firing together at the same time. You can get concentrated fire on the enemy. And in fact, all 3 VPs have gone to the same area of the map. On the enemy team, there's 2 VPs and an M41. Okay, T28 hiding underneath that arch. Rounds out. Well, it landed where he was located. Now you may notice something. He's actually carrying mostly HE ammunition, but he has got 12 rounds of heat. Now again, that's going to come back to haunt him again later on in the game. You don't want to have too many rounds of heat. HE can be terribly useful because it can get a near miss and still do damage. 2 meters blast radius. They're all firing rounds in at these enemy tanks, and they're kind of hesitant to go around the corner and kill the Hetzer, because that sort of thing is going to happen. Yes, he's got another kill, this time round a Chihi. Okay, there's an MX CLC trying to push around the corner, and he does get the kill on the Het, so he pulls out. Shouldn't have pulled out there, he should have stayed just around the corner, forcing the enemy to come round the corner so he could have a go at them. Anyway, they're going to keep firing at this AMX. Okay, he's trying to use that wreck for cover. Rounds out. Long flight time. Yep, there's some damage. Only 7 hit points there, but because another round comes in. Look at the number of rounds coming in. I remember seeing a battle some time ago where Salty Jedi and Sir Havoc were, well, certain members of my clan were all playing VP at the same time, and it was absolutely pandemonium because there were so many shells coming in almost simultaneously from other VPs. This Arty really can be devastating when there's more than one working together. Okay, well, we've lost the targets we were looking at over on the east side of the map, but the enemy's got the east side of the map now, and looks like they'll probably make a move towards our cap. We're 5 tanks down on the enemy. It almost looks like this battle's a foregone conclusion and the enemy's going to win. But here we've got an enemy, oh, it's moving so fast, it's a chappie, and he's coming up close to us, and then we've got a T28 just on the edge of the cap area, and he is capping, but we can't get a shot at him whilst he's sitting behind that mound of snow. But this M4A1, well, he's very low on hit points and he was trying to come towards us. And I think he's realised now that's a bad move, because when you've got a number of VPs firing together, it can be deadly. 3 kills now. The Silent Soul. Well, he's not a Silent Soul, he's very loud soul. T28 still in the cap. In fact, 3 are in the cap. And there goes the next kill, and that's a T28. He's now going for the M5 Stewart, who's blasting away with his auto cannon. And he's gone. And I think that kill went to the 14 TP. That hits us very low on hit points. So the enemy's been stopped from capping, but there's still a number of them out there. Oh, not anymore. There's a Matilda short now. So that's 5 kills now for Silent Soul. He's racking them up. BT5. Well, he's firing blind now almost. Well, firing on auto aim. Trying to go for the chappy who's hiding behind the house. Fortunately, he's got a red line, which means it makes it very difficult to get the shell in there. He's got to try and find a solution that works. Fires in. No, that just destroys the building. But he might have a way to put around near that chappy. No, can't get him. But he moves out into full sight. If he goes through that gap, we should be able to fire. Right, well, he's going after the Matilda. Oh, we just got hit by the enemy Arty. The M41 HMC worked out where we are and has splashed us, but he only damaged the track. We're still trying to get this chappy. Bit tunnel vision, and he gets another kill. That's his top gun. Okay, the next enemy is an SAU-40, the French tank destroyer. Gets a nice hit on him. The SAU-40 is a tier 4. It's a tier 5 game with tier 4 tanks in it. Go for it again. Rounds out. Kill. So 7 kills now. Well, it's 3 against 4 now. The enemy team's got a tank destroyer and 3 Arty, and we've got 2 Arty and 1 light tank, the Leopard. We know where the Stug was last seen, but that might not necessarily be where he is now. What we really need is for the Leopard to go out looking for us, and he found the Stug! Or was it our other Fifi who spotted him? Oh, fantastic kill! And that means now it's 2 Arty and a light tank against 3 Arty. So the odds have turned in their favour, and now Silent Soul has 8 kills. He has a Radley Waters. Now, he doesn't find that out until he checks down and looks and sees that he's got 8, and then he marks it in chat. Yeah, he's just put it in chat. I just realised I have 8 kills. He says this tank is so broken. Well, you can tell he's not an Arty player, because, yeah, we need Artys like this. We need more premium Artys. If there were more premium Arty in the game, I think there would be more players deciding to play Arty. Yeah, he's telling the Leopard to be a little careful, but they found the M41 HMC, and it looked like he went into those bushes. But now Silent Soul's running out of, well, he's run out of HE. He can only fire heat now, and as you know, you have to get a direct hit in order to make the heat work. So he's trying to guess where that enemy Arty might be, and I'd be in the bush if that was where. That's where he's going to fire back. The Leopard's up on the hill. He should be aiming at the Leopard. He fires around in blind. Oh, he got a hit! The M41 was in the bush. Got a blind hit on him. Fires another one in. And this time round he kills the M41. So he must have been in the bush, hit by that shot. The M41 moved, but before he moved away from that position, Silent Soul finished him off, and now he has 9 kills. He's saying, if I get effing pools, man. I'm going to be so ashamed. Yes, well, you wouldn't be ashamed if you're an Arty player. You wouldn't be. You'd be saying, yeah, this is justice. Nine kills. 3/5 of the enemy team have been wiped out by Silent Soul. Admittedly, some of them were snapshots, but a lot of them were aimed in, and it was just a weight of fire that was coming in. Killed off the enemy. The Leopard's gone looking. There's only 2 enemy RT left, and they're both beefies, so they've both got the same view range, 390 meters. But they're still very slow and lumbering. 28 kilometers an hour maximum speed. It's a 34-ton RT. The Leopard's having a quick look along the K-row. And you can see Silent Soul's aiming ahead of where the Leopard can see, because obviously you want to do that. You want to aim ahead of where your teammates are looking, because you're trying to spot the enemy at the same time as the Leopard spots them, and then get your shot in quick. The Leopard's decided to start capping. Now, he probably won't see the enemy from that position, but the problem with that position is that it's way too obvious. If I was in an Arty, I would fire at that spot there, right next door to the mound of snow, and do so to ensure that anyone hiding in that position gets hit. The best place to go is actually into the bushes that are in that cap. There are some bushes. And yes, the Leopard just got hit by an Arty round, and he suddenly realised he has to move, and he spotted one of the enemy Fifi, but not before he gets taken out by the other one. Yeah, he was spotted by the other, and you saw there that Silent Soul fired a round in, but it looks like his teammate in the other Arty did get a hit, because there was no explosion when his shell went in. So we know that one of those Leopards, one of those Fifis is wounded. He's saying, come with me. We need to brawl. Well, you just need to get close enough so that you can get a good shot. Technically speaking, you should both go to the cap anyway to try and cap out, and that's why they both should have moved. When the Leopard moved, they shouldn't have stayed where they were. They should have come south as quickly as they could. Because of course there was always the possibility that they would have to cap, and now they spotted the other, but of course they would have been spotted as well because they've got the same view range. He's dialing in. When he tires his shot, oh! And he takes out the enemy Fifi, and that means he's got a pools medal. And he's asked the platoon with the other Fifi, who's got 2 kills. Between them, they could now get a crucial contribution. They have platooned. Now, all we need is for the other Arty to pick up another kill. And that's a Brothers in Arms as well. So he's going in as if he's going to cap, but obviously I don't think they've got the chance to cap out in time. But they found the other Arty, and he's hiding behind those huts. And I think they're fragile. Oh, he takes a huge hit. That was an HE round. He's going to have to move, because otherwise that enemy Fifi's going to get him the second time. He's changed position just a little. The enemy Fifi's hiding. That's not going to help him. The other Fifi's firing. Oh, he got him! He killed him. And that's the end of the game. And that's a pools medal for Silent Soul. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first ace tanker for Silent Soul in the 105 leFH18B2. You can tell it's a first ace tanker because he's got these scrolls underneath the M, and you only get that the first time. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he managed to get 16. And he got a pools medal. Yes, to get a first ace tanker, and it happens to be a pools medal winning game as well. That's pretty special. That's what most Arty players would like to get. But on this occasion, he's not an Arty player. He got a Brothers in Arms because he and his platoon mate managed to get at least 3 kills each. And they were both alive at the end. As well as a crucial contribution for getting at least 12 kills between them. In fact, they got 13. a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. His win rate from that battle was 6,752, super Unicum standard, and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see in team score that he got the highest damage with only 1,707 hit points. That's not a huge amount really for Fifi, because normally they can achieve over 2,000, sometimes over 3,000 in an ace tanker game. The second highest damage went to Parasite, his platoon mate, with 1,642. He wasn't that far behind Silent Soul. And 1,023 went to the... well, no, it's not 1,023. It's the enemy Fifi. 1,059 went to the enemy Fifi to get the third place. When it came to kills, it was Silent Soul who got the highest with 10. 3 kills went to his platoon mate, and also to the Stug 3 Ausführung G and M4A1 on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it was Silent Soul again, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,225, enough for an ace tanker. 793 went to his platoon mate. That's not enough for an ace tanker. That's probably a second class or maybe a first class. And 731 went to the Leopard. He fired 45 rounds, so he only had 5 rounds left, and all of them were heats at the end. 13 direct hits on the enemy, 5 penetrations. Now, I think the penetrations came about because he was using heat towards the end, but we can actually see that he penetrated the M4A1 with one of his shots, the M441 HMC, the Gorilla, he managed to get a pen on him. He penned the Chihi, and I think he also penned one of the other enemy. I think it may have, yes, it was the enemy Fifi as well. So, yes, he penned 2 of the Artys and a couple of the tanks. He did damage, he's got splash damage on 12, as I mentioned. Damage of 1,707 hit points, of which 1,553 were up more than 300 meters. So you can see there were some close range shots in that game. He also received 1 hit and 3 hits by way of splash damage as well. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 12 enemy vehicles damaged, 10 killed, 695 hit points of damage assistance, and he got 2 defense points when he reset the cap. He earned 49,776 credits from the game, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he actually made a loss of 7,143 credits, and I'll put that down to the fact that he was firing an awful lot of heat towards the end of the game, and they are expensive shells, so really you should only carry a few heat rounds, and you shouldn't blast any rounds away like the 2 rounds he fired right at the start of the game where he fired them at nothing. But I think that's down to the fact that he wasn't an Arty player, and an Arty player would try to preserve as many rounds as he could. He achieved 25 bonds during that game, and he also got 1,837 XP times 2 for the first victory, 735 for this being a premium vehicle, and took away 4,410 experience points altogether. Well, yes, very impressive game by Silent Soul. Let's have a look at the armor and the modules. Here's the armor, and you can see basically it's heavy tank from the waist down. Yes, it's rather funny actually. You can see the bits that were added to the Char B1. It's everything that's on top of the tank. That was added by the Germans during the war when they converted them to SPG. Basically, it is a heavy tank. It's the Char B1, and you can see 60mm of impacted armor at the front, which with the angling works out at about 75mm. There's a weakness here where they used to have the 75mm gun. They put impacted armor of 45mm plate over the top of that. This is where the driver's hatch is, that you can see where he's going, and again that's a weak spot. The sides of the vehicle, well, 60mm, fairly thick, equaling out at 61, mainly because it's flat-sided. The rear of the vehicle is only 55mm, fairly easy to pen. And the weakness on this Arty is in fact the gun shield, which is only 20mm thick all the way. Well, it's not all the way around, actually it's 25mm at the side. but it's very slab-sided, so any shell that goes or hits those is just going to go straight through. And normally what you do is you fire HE shells at this, because they'll go straight through the armor and badly damage it. Most people, if they're new to the game, will actually fire auto aim, and if they do, they'll hit the heavy armor at the front of this vehicle. Or if they're in a light tank, they might try to ram it, and of course they're ramming a heavy tank, and if you ram a heavy tank in a light tank, the light tank always comes off worse, because of course they're not built for that sort of strength. So there you have it. The weak spot of the Fifi is the gun shield. If we look at the modules, you can see that the engine right at the back with the transmission, and there's a fuel tank right alongside it. The driver's up front on the right hand side, the tank commander on the left hand side, the gunner just behind where the driver is, and a little bit raised just behind the gun, and of course the loaders behind the breech to feed the shells in. Now there's two ammo stores. There's one up near the actual gun itself, and there's one deep inside the tank. Now it is possible to actually shoot through the sides of the tank and then to actually connect with that ammo rack. And of course there's a little tunnel. You can't actually see it here, but there's a little tunnel that runs from where the driver is all the way back to the engine, so you can fix the engine if something goes wrong without actually getting outside of the vehicle. And there's a hatch in this side of the tank here, which is actually a weak spot. On the other side of the tank, over on this side, there's another weak spot, which is actually the vent for the radiator, where they radiate the heat out. And yes, that's another weak spot which the Germans tried to exploit during the Second World War by shooting rounds in through the vent to try and knock out the engine. Because other than that, the Char B1 was quite a tough tank. Of course, this 105mm gun you can see here is a German gun, not a French gun at all. And in fact, it was the most well-produced Arty gun that the Germans had during the war, the 105mm light field howitzer, and that's where you get the leFH, because it's like a Feldhaubitze, which is light field howitzer, and that's why it gets the name leFH. I hope you enjoyed that game. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And of course, please do remember that we're giving all of the proceeds from this channel to the Red Cross Ukraine appeal to help the refugees coming out of the war. So the more of our videos you watch, the more you're helping the refugees. And I think it's apt that this battle was from Kharkov map, because obviously they're under pressure at this moment. They are in a state of war and they are under siege almost by the Russians. And so therefore, by watching this video, you are actually helping the Ukrainian refugees. So please do spread news of this this video and let other people see it, and maybe they'll watch some other videos on our channel and send more money to the refugees. Thanks for watching.